Have you ever looked into the eyes of a suffering animal? A dog left on the street, a bird trembling in pain, a horse beaten and broken, and silently asked God, why? If He is love, if He is merciful, if He created all living beings with care, then why does He allow them to feel pain? Why do innocent creatures cry, bleed, and die in a world created by a loving God? This is one of the hardest questions believers ever face, because when we see humans suffer, we can say, maybe they sinned, maybe they made a choice, maybe it's a lesson. But animals, they don't sin, they don't make moral choices, they simply exist, and yet they suffer. So today, we will journey deep through Scripture, through faith, through mystery, to uncover what the Church truly says. Why does God allow animals to suffer? And what does that suffering mean in the plan of eternity? This is the Word of the Catholic. Part 1. The question that breaks the heart. Every child who grows up loving an animal, sooner or later, faces the same heartbreak. The moment when that animal gets sick, or grows old, or dies. And in that moment, something changes inside us, because we see pain in a creature that did nothing wrong. And deep inside, a whisper rises. If God made them, why would He let them hurt? Some people stop believing right there. They look at nature, at lions hunting deer, at whales devouring seals, at forests burning and birds dying, and they say, there can't be a loving God behind this. But what if the story is bigger? What if pain itself has a place in creation, not as a punishment, but as a passage? Before we answer why animals suffer, we have to understand what creation really is. Because if creation itself is wounded, then maybe their suffering is not meaningless. So the next question rises: did creation itself fall just like man did? Part 2. The fall of creation. The Bible tells us something powerful. In Romans 8:22, the whole creation has been groaning in pain, as in the pains of childbirth, until now. Notice that word, groaning. Not just humans, but all creation. When Adam and Eve disobeyed God, their sin didn't just break humanity, it broke the harmony of the entire creation. Animals began to fear, to hunt, to be hunted. Nature, once in balance, began to decay. The lion that once lived in peace with the lamb now devours it. The earth that once gave fruit without labor now brings thorns and drought. So perhaps animal suffering isn't God's cruelty, but the echo of human sin. When man fell, the world fell with him, and creation has been crying ever since. But then the question grows deeper. If animals suffer because of man's fall, then is it fair that they pay the price for our sin? Part 3. The innocence of creation. Animals never chose sin. They follow their nature, pure, instinctive, innocent. A lion kills not out of hatred, but to survive. A cat hunts not in cruelty, but in design. Their world runs on laws written by God Himself. So, how could a just God let innocent beings suffer for the sins they never committed? Here's what many saints and theologians believed. In God's great plan, every form of life is woven into the same story, a story that leads to redemption. Their pain is not forgotten. Their cries are not ignored. Their suffering is part of the same world that Christ came to redeem. When Jesus died on the cross, He didn't just die for human souls, He died to redeem all of creation. The wounds of the world were nailed with Him. But then, if that redemption is real, why do they still suffer? Why hasn't peace returned to creation yet? Part 4. The waiting creation. In Romans 8:19, St. Paul says, "The creation waits in eager expectation for the children of God to be revealed." It means creation is waiting for the moment when humanity is finally restored, so that the world can be healed too. Animals suffer today because the world is not yet what it's meant to be. They are caught in a fallen system, a broken rhythm of life and death. But Scripture tells us it will not be forever. The day will come when the wolf will lie with the lamb, and nothing shall hurt or destroy in all my holy mountain. Isaiah 11:6-9. That means animal pain has an expiration date. It will end. It's not forever. But still, how can that bring comfort to the one who sees an animal suffering today? Part 5. The heart of compassion. Every tear you shed for a suffering animal, God sees it. Because compassion is not just emotion, it's a reflection of His own heart. The pain you feel watching a wounded dog or dying bird isn't weakness. It's divine. It means God's image inside you still works. Your mercy is His mercy echoing through you. When you feed a stray, when you rescue a creature, you are doing something sacred. You are healing a piece of the broken creation. Jesus said, "Whatever you do for the least of these, you do unto me." And though He spoke of humans, the Church teaches that mercy must extend to every creature of God. But that raises another mystery. If God sees their pain, does He also comfort them when they die? Part 6. Beyond the veil of death. Scripture doesn't give a simple yes or no to the question of animals in the afterlife, but it gives something even deeper: hope. In Revelation, John sees every creature in heaven, on earth, under the earth, and in the sea praising God. Revelation 5:13. That means creation, every part of it, is somehow present in the glory of eternity. If God could create a world full of living souls once, why would He not restore them in the new creation? So maybe the pain of animals now is a shadow before the dawn, a birth pain before renewal. And in the new heaven and the new earth, there will be no more crying, no more pain, no more death. But then, if heaven is the place of perfect love, can it really be heaven without the creatures we loved? Part 7. The bonds that never die. Love is not destroyed by death, it's transformed. If your heart still remembers the animal you loved, that love itself is eternal. Because love that reflects God cannot vanish. It must return to Him. When God renews the world, He renews everything touched by love. So perhaps the pets we mourn, the creatures we pitied, the ones that looked into our eyes and trusted us, will be there, not as memories, but as living joy. Not because animals earn heaven, but because heaven itself is overflowing with love. And love always calls back what it once created. But there's one last question that burns in the heart. If God's love is so deep, why did He design a world where pain exists at all? Part 8. The mystery of the tear. Pain exists because choice exists. Choice exists because love exists. Without freedom, there can be no love. And without love, there can be no joy. Even creation reflects this truth. Every living thing exists between birth and decay, growth and loss, because life itself means movement toward God. When we suffer for others, we grow in compassion. When we see pain, we long for heaven. When we lose what we love, we remember eternity. Even animal pain becomes a silent sermon, a reminder that this world is not home, that something better waits beyond the veil. And when that day comes, there will be no predators, no prey, no fear, no pain, only peace. Part 9. the eternal redemption. At the end of time, God will not erase creation, He will renew it. Every wounded wing, every broken paw, every tear ever shed in innocence will be made whole again. He who made them out of love will not forget them in eternity, because nothing that carries love in it can be lost in God. So when you ask, why does God allow animals to suffer? The answer is not simple, but it is beautiful, because even their suffering is part of a story moving toward healing, a story where pain gives birth to paradise and every cry becomes a song. And on that day, when heaven opens, maybe you'll see them again, running toward you, free, joyful, eternal, finally home. This is the word of the Catholic. And one day, when all creation is restored, when heaven and earth become one, there will be no more hunger, no more pain, no more fear. Every tear that ever fell from an innocent creature's eye will be wiped away by the hand of God Himself, because His love does not forget. It redeems, it renews, it restores. So the next time you see an animal in pain, don't look away. Love it, help it, pray for it, because in that moment, you are touching the heart of God. And remember, this world is not the end. It's the beginning of something eternal, something beautiful, something beyond suffering. If this message touched your heart, then take a moment, share it with someone who needs hope today. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Your words may heal another soul. And if you believe in spreading faith, truth, and light, then don't forget to like, subscribe, and press the bell icon so you never miss a message from the Word of the Catholic. Because together, we keep faith alive. We keep love alive. We keep the Word of the Catholic alive.